We're tracking local breaking news on an overnight shooting in the metro. 911 dispatchers were swamped with calls about shots fired last night around 11 in the 1200 block of 2nd Avenue South in Moorhead. Our viewers tell us that she heard shots and police yelling at someone to come out of the garage before officers arrested a man. 22-year-old Leon Norman is now in jail for reckless discharge of a firearm. Police say a woman and several children were inside at the time of the shooting. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Officers recovered a gun and spent shells, and they say there is no longer an ongoing threat to the public because of the incident. Several units are gutted after fire ripped through a row of apartment garages in South Fargo. Take a look at the damage here. One door is completely off of that garage, so firefighters could get in and salvage what was left. Officials say that fire started in one unit and then spread to 5 or 6 others. But investigators are still looking for the cause. There were several combustible items like storage boxes in those garages that helped fuel the flames. Fire crews say 3 garage units are heavily damaged by the fire. The others have smoke damage. 6:53 on this Tuesday morning. We want to get a check of your forecast. A lot to go over on this First Alert Weather Day, Lisa.
There sure is. We're talking about, first of all, today, the oncoming storm, the snow that's going to be increasing, and the wind as well with that. And then, of course, beyond this, we have the intense cold returning too. So first off, a winter weather advisory here today. It takes effect this afternoon and evening, first in the west and then later into the east, as that's the direction the system will be moving in, and it lasts into the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. So a good 24 hours of conditions that are going to be pretty tough as far as snow and wind are concerned here. Here's a look at the latest radar. It's pretty quiet. We're looking at some, at least in the valley, I should say, we're looking at some cloud cover moving through. There are a couple of areas with some snow up to the north in places like Towner and into Cavalier County, but the main area of snow still out to the west. That's going to be making its way again west to east. So if you're in the Devil's Lake Basin, if you're over into the James River Valley, you're likely to see this first this afternoon. If you're more into Minnesota, it's going to take a little bit longer to get to you, more into the evening, drive time and beyond for tonight. So you have a little more time before that moves in. And in some cases, we're already seeing that light snow again up by Rock Lake and moving toward the Langdon area here, right along the international border. Here's a look at traffic in Fargo. Pretty quiet this morning as far as weather is concerned, as traffic is picking up. I've seen crews out clearing out more of that snow that's been affecting us here in the region and still sticking around from the latest round, and then treating those roads as well in advance of what's to come. In Fargo, the temperature is 8 degrees right now, wind out of the east at 6, and we've got a feels like number of 2 below. So it does feel like we're below 0. Make sure you're ready for that, even if it is a little bit better than recent days. And in Grand Forks, we're at 2 degrees, cloudy skies, and we've got wind out of the northeast at 9, and it feels like 13 below here in Grand Forks. So quiet start, but a start that's going to be more on the cool side if you are in those areas where the wind's starting to pick up. But check out your planner for Fargo. We've got a morning that should be relatively mild. We're talking temperatures into the teens. Heading into the afternoon, our chances for snow increase. It could be as early as that 2 o'clock hour, but especially as we get into the late afternoon and into the drive time frame, we're looking at the Red River Valley starting to get in on more of that accumulating snow and in on that wind as well. So for today, we're watching that snow and bitter cold moving in, and that will start off first with the wind picking up and the snow picking up later tonight. That continues into the day tomorrow. The snow will be tapering off, but the wind will still be going. So we'll have blowing snow issues with that 2 to 5 inch snowfall range we're looking at with this system. Maybe a little bit more in a couple of spots that pick up a little more. And then on top of that, there's all that snow that's on the ground left over from the latest round. So that could easily get lofted. And check out these temperatures. They'll be dropping during the day below 0. More Arctic air on Thursday. And then, Jordan, as we head into the rest of the week, we're looking at conditions that are going to be quite cold as well into the next week time frame. So this kind of kicks it all off. Our winter weather advisory here starting up later today. So be ready for it. It's quiet this morning. It's this afternoon and evening where things get tough.
Yeah, when we see the map covered in this much color for such a big area, we know it's never a good sign.
Right, and there are also wind chill advisories out there coming for tomorrow, but we're focused in on what's happening today. Don't get stranded, though, because those wind chills are going to get tough.
All right, good advice, Lisa. Thanks for tracking it all. And speaking of the cold weather, frozen pipes, that's an issue we get with this. They have shut down a popular West Fargo restaurant temporarily. Diener's Diner was closed all day yesterday for some cleanup and repairs. No word on when they'll reopen. A Barnesville man is asking why the city shut off their hot water heaters this weekend when temperatures were so low. City officials say the amount of energy that residents use, and when the usage gets too high, they have to make adjustments. Over the New Year's holiday weekend, the combination of the extreme cold and everyone being at home led to at least one family running out of hot water. With more cold weather on the way, they say it could happen again.
It could potentially be off and on and off and on and off and on, like we had this weekend.
City officials that we talked to say it's an automatic system that turns off your water heater for 45 minutes and only turns it on for 15 minutes until citywide energy usage gets below a threshold. Now, they suggest you stagger your energy usage throughout the day and conserve as much hot water as possible during the busiest hours. That's before school and work, and then after school and work in the evening as well. The COVID crisis has caught up with a small assisted living facility in Minnesota. They're asking families to take their loved ones back home for at least a few weeks. Now, Westwood Place in Watertown has 24 beds, but there are so many staff members out sick, people are forced to take their loved ones home and care for them there. Skilled care nursing facilities are getting help from the National Guard, but assisted living facilities don't get that help. Right now, 30% of the state's assisted living facilities are refusing new admissions because of the pandemic. Long-term care settings are refusing more, or 70% of them are not taking new admissions. A Minnesota man is accused of driving drunk while operating a bus full of Duluth High School student athletes. State troopers responded last Thursday night to a 911 text from someone on board who said the bus driver was acting erratically. They hit a stop sign, even went the wrong way on a road. Troopers say a preliminary breath test of the driver showed him at .218. That's nearly 3 times the legal limit for driving. Moorhead schools are transitioning to making masks optional as the new year starts. That started with pre-K students yesterday. It will resume at the high school on January 7th, the middle school on January 31st, and elementary students on February 14th. The decisions were made at school board meetings last month, citing the availability of COVID-19 vaccines for children. Let's get the answer now to that question of the morning on Facebook. Our question today, 1 in 4 Americans say they're horrible at this. The answer, parallel parking. Yeah, I'm one of them. Can't do it to save my life. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us on the CW. Have a safe day. Stay warm.